Georgia Real Estate Exam Study Guide Flashcards, 61 questions with explained answers. Flashcard 1. Term, non-homogeneity. Definition: a characteristic of land which holds that no two parcels are exactly alike because each parcel has its own unique location. Flashcard 2. Term, fixture. Definition: an item that was once personal property but has become real property because of the manner in which it was attached to the land or its improvements. Flashcard 3. Term, meridians. Definition: certain reference lines which run north and south used in the rectangular survey system to locate land. The north-south line on a compass. Flashcard 4. Term, license law. Definition: a law designed to protect the public from dishonest and incompetent agents. Created in 1925. Flashcard 5. Term, implements. Definition: crops that require annual cultivation. They are considered personal property even though it is attached to the land. Flashcard 6. Term, call. Definition: the compass direction and distance for each boundary line. Flashcard 7. Term, revocation. Definition: disciplinary action by the Commission to take a license away from the licensee. Flashcard 8. Term, dower. Definition: a wife's life estate in the real property owned by her husband and conveyed to her by law upon his death. Flashcard 9. Term, metes and bounds. Definition: a method of legally describing land by measuring directions and distances of its boundary lines. Flashcard 10. Term, covenant. Definition: a restriction in a lease or deed which specifies that the property will or will not be used in a certain manner. An example of a blank is a subdivision restriction. Blank must be enforced by seeking an injunction or damages. Blank have a time limit after which they are no longer effective. Flashcard 11. Term, spot survey. Definition: the process of locating the exact boundaries, shape and area of a parcel of land. Flashcard 12. Term, principal. Definition: also called client. One who employs an agent to represent him, her. Flashcard 13. Term, topographic map. Definition: a map that shows the elevations of the Earth's surface, also called a contour map. Flashcard 14. Term, right of lateral support. Definition: the right which protects the natural support of adjacent land in mining operations to extract minerals from below the surface of the Earth. Flashcard 15. Term, easement appurtenant. Definition: an easement which grants a right of use to one parcel of land in and on another parcel. The land over which the easement runs is the servient estate. The land benefiting from the easement is the dominant estate. Flashcard 16. Term, 43,560. Definition: the number of square feet in 1 acre. Flashcard 17. Term, water table. Definition: the level at which percolating water is found below the Earth's surface. Flashcard 18. Term, accession. Definition: the acquisition of title by the owner of real property to those things attached to the property by others, such as tenants, trespassers, or by nature. Flashcard 19. Term, fructus naturals. Definition: growing things which require no annual cultivation. Flashcard 20. Term, contingent remainder. Definition: a non-possessory estate created when a fee simple owner grants a lesser estate and designates another person to take possession of the fee simple estate upon termination of the lesser estate and the occurrence of a stated condition. Flashcard 21. Term, appurtenance. Definition: anything that may be used with the land for its benefit and goes to the new owner when ownership of the land is transferred. Mineral rights, air rights, water rights, easements, improvements, and natural attachments are examples. Flashcard 22. Term, earnest money. Definition: the purchaser's initial commitment of something of value to indicate that she wants to buy the property according to the terms of the offer being submitted. Blank deposits received by the broker must be placed in her/her designated trust account until the transaction is either closed or otherwise terminated. Flashcard 23. Term, egress. Definition: an exit leading from the parcel of land. Flashcard 24. Term, Georgia Administrative Procedures Act. Definition: a state law which requires administrative bodies such as the Georgia Real Estate Commission to follow certain procedures in its investigative process and before exercising its disciplinary powers. For example, before the Commission can impose a sanction against a license, the licensee must be given a hearing. Flashcard 25. Term, law of capture. Definition: the law which allows a well drilled on one property to extract oil or gas reserves from under adjoining properties. Flashcard 26. Term, artificial monuments. Definition: man-made objects such as streets, fences, iron pins, concrete posts, etc. Flashcard 27. Term, for responsibilities of the Commission. Definition: issue licenses, set fees, pass rules and regulations, take disciplinary actions. Flashcard 28. Term, literal rights. Definition: a landowner's lawful claim to use and enjoy the water of a large lake or ocean bordering the owned property. Flashcard 29. Term, salesperson. Definition: any person, other than an associate broker, who acts on behalf of a real estate broker in performing any licensed act authorized by the license law to be performed by the broker. Flashcard 30. Term, fructus industrials. Definition: crops that are planted and harvested each year. Flashcard 31. Term, topography. Definition: the nature or shape of the Earth's surface, such as hills, valleys, level, or rolling, also called contour. Flashcard 32. Term, chattel. Definition: personal property. Flashcard 33. Term, navigable water. Definition: a waterway open to the public for commercial boat traffic. Flashcard 34. Term, correlative rights. Definition: the doctrine of law which allows riparian owners in certain states to use only a reasonable share of water during periods of drought. Flashcard 35. Term, monument. Definition: a fixed point or object used to denote the endpoint of a boundary line in a metes and bounds description. Flashcard 36. Term, riparian rights. Definition: a landowner's right to use and enjoy the water from a river, stream or lake which adjoins the owned land. Flashcard 37. Term, land. Definition: an area which starts at the center of the earth, passes through the earth's surface and extends into space. Flashcard 38. Term, dominant estate. Definition: the land parcel which benefits from an easement appurtenant. When title to the land is conveyed, the easement is automatically transferred to the new owner. Flashcard 39. Term, attorney general. Definition: legal counsel for the state. Whenever the commission believes a serious violation of the license law has occurred, the blank may bring an action in the name of the state to enforce compliance. Flashcard 40. Term, condition. Definition: a provision in a deed which subjects the ownership of land to certain restrictions. The party creating the blank, the grantor, reserves a future right in the property. Upon the occurrence or non-occurrence of a stated blank, either the title automatically reverts to the grantor, or the grantor has the right to sue for possession and terminate the estate. Flashcard 41. Term, commercial easement in gross. Definition: a right to use the land of another. It does not benefit any particular property. The right is transferable and freely inheritable. Typical examples include utility easements, railroad right-of-ways and billboard easements. Flashcard 42. Term, principal meridian. Definition: one of the north-south reference lines used in the rectangular survey to locate land. Flashcard 43. Term, co-brokering. Definition: participation of more than one broker in a real estate transaction. Flashcard 44. Term, reinstatement fee. Definition: a charge to reinstate a lapsed license. Flashcard 45. Term, associate broker. Definition: a person who has met all qualifications to be licensed as a broker, but who elects to act on behalf of another broker in performing any act authorized by law to be performed by a broker. Flashcard 46. Term, bundle of rights. Definition: all of the rights a person can have in real property. Included in the bundle are the rights of possession, control, enjoyment, and disposition. Flashcard 47. Term, mineral rights. Definition: a landowner's legal interest in minerals below the surface of his land. Such rights are considered to be appurtenant to the land and may be sold or leased separately. Flashcard 48. Term, attachment lien. Definition: an encumbrance created against land when the court is granted custody of the property to prevent the owner from conveying title while a suit for damages is being decided. By attaching the property, the person seeking damages is assured that the property will be available to satisfy a judgment if it is awarded by the court. Flashcard 49. Term, encroachment. Definition: the illegal intrusion of an improvement, building, or other attachment onto a neighboring land or into its airspace. Flashcard 50. Term, range. Definition: a 6-mile-wide strip of land running north-south in the rectangular survey system. Flashcard 51. Term, situs. Definition: location refers to people's preference for a given location. Area preference. Flashcard 52. Term, rectangular survey system. Definition: a method of legally describing the surface of the land based upon a grid system formed by principal meridians, baselines, range lines, and township lines, also known as the government survey system. Flashcard 53. Term, eminent domain. Definition: the government's right to take private property for public use with or without the consenting of the owner upon payment of a just compensation to the owner. The right may be with or delegated to quasi-public corporations, such as utility companies. The court suit for taking the property is called condemnation. Flashcard 54. Term, executor. Definition: person named in a will to carry out the directions and requests of the deceased. Flashcard 55. Term, baseline. Definition: certain reference lines which run east and west, used in rectangular survey system to locate land. Flashcard 56. Term, plat of survey, definition, a map or drawing that shows the location and boundaries of a land parcel, and in some cases, how the land is subdivided into lots, also called a plat map. Flashcard 57. Term, datum, definition, a point of surface of known location from which heights and depths are measured, the basic point from which vertical land, air rights and mineral rights, is described. Flashcard 58. Term, perlocating water, definition, underground water not confined to a specific waterway, channel, or stream. Flashcard 59. Term, dual agency, definition, representing both the buyer and the seller in the same transaction. This practice constitutes a violation of license law, unless both parties give their written consent. Flashcard 60. Term, benchmark, definition, a permanent reference point of known location used by surveyors. A blank may be a point established by a government survey team or a fixed monument such as a road right-of-way. Flashcard 61. Term, prior appropriation, definition, states that typically experience periods of drought. The right to use riparian water is secured by permit. During periods of drought the earlier permits establish priority in